Coming up straight ahead on TWE News Edition, we will have the very latest details coming up on Albany team that drowned it in Maduff, Georgia here. And also the latest details information coming up. Black bears are coming through the Panhandle. Plus also coming up, the latest details on two people being arrested in a White House the armed robbery took place. Those stories and much more along with your weather and sports. Stick around. TWE News Edition starts in just a moment. But first, looking outside in Cairo, Georgia right now. It's a beautiful city where we got a lot of stuff that's going on. We have news all over, local news, national news, more news, and much more. Stick around. TWE News Edition starts your way right now.
You are tuning in to your number one news team for amazing news, national weather, and real sports. You can always count on TWE News.
Hello everybody and welcome to TWE News Edition. I'm Kelton Johnson, the TWE chairman from Cairo, Georgia, and thank you so much for joining us. And remember, when you see news or whether sports happening, you can go to facebook.com/TWE News and let us know about it. Thank you so much for joining us and turning out to our top story news here in Albany team that drowned it in Maduff, Georgia here. Emergency crews had got a call at Lake Dewar in Maduff, Georgia, reporting that a teen had jumped into a dock of water here and did not return to the surface here. Shortly around 5:30 that afternoon, resources crew had pulled the body from the lake there. The teen identified as Benny Davis of Albany. Davis was in Henry County visiting his friends. Also, shortly after 4:30 in the afternoon, the Lake Dewar and Maduff Henry County Fire Department says that the team responded in a possibly drowning here, and it ended up recovering orphan. Also, along with the explaining resources recovers their efforts here. Also, the Henry County 911 commissionary also says that they had got a call from 911 around 4:37 in the afternoon, clearing that caller started that his friend had jumped into the water that and did not return to the surface. Henry County, Henry County Union beginning arriving there shortly around 4:41 there. By 5:02, they also says that the first diver entered in the water and did not find the young man there. Also, shortly after 20 minutes later, they also says that the first they exit their water around 5:25. The second driver entered the water around at 5:34. The young man recovered there. 16-year-old Benny Davis was in Henry County visiting his friends, and he later went to the hospital. And of course, he was in Henry County visiting his friends. He had drowned it. And across the state now, the Florida news here. Of course, black bears are sighting increasing in the Panhandle in Florida, Panhandle here. In Navarre, Florida, where it happened, a Wi-Fi official says the number of bears here are sighting through the Florida Panhandle. Since January, the Florida Fish Wi-Fi Conservation Commissionary logged in 360 calls their bike sites here, and of course the 4 country areas there. It says also from 249 same during since the past years here, since last year. It also said increase the numbers of bear sites and promoted in the Florida Fish Wi-Fi here. Also, the report says that a person in a schedule here and a public workshop decision on safety measures in the areas of residents there. Also says that Pensacola News journalist said the black bears ran front of during the recent there, of course, the riot here. One official says that 4 bears have been fatally struck by vehicles this year, including along with 98 of them in Navarre that Wednesday. And turning now to some other news across the state now, across the state now is one of information according to the Lowndes County deputy says that they had tracked down a man here who had some DVDs. They said it was right at 10,000 reproduced here of so many bootlegged DVDs. Here's much more on that story from Valdosta, Georgia. Take a listen.
This is part from Georgia. In Lowndes, deputies have busted a bootlegged DVD operation here in Valdosta, Georgia here. Lowndes County man is facing charges accused of creating and selling thousands of bootlegged DVDs here. The Lowndes County Sheriff Chris Pine says that deputies arrested Robert Mitchell, 33-year-old, on August the 17th at his home, which was at South Lee Street in Valdosta. The investigation into the Mitchell beginning on July 31st. Back on July 31st, the investigator says that inside of Mitchell's home here, they found more than just about 10,000 reproduced movie DVDs here, so which were playing at local theaters. And at the time, the equipment, of course, those DVDs. After reviewing the DVDs, investigators also says that it appears that the movies has been.
And you can find out more details on that story. Just head over to our TWE Facebook.com/TWE News page and go and check out much more details on the story. And across the state now, some local news here in Valdosta, Georgia. 2 armed robberies has took place here. And of course, they said that from Valdosta, armed robbery took place Valdosta, Georgia, where it happened. Valdosta Police Department says that, of course, 2 men here is in custody after jumping and charging with robbery in 28-year-old Jaquez Evans. They told deputies that the man had He told deputies that the man stole $130 in cash and, of course, a laptop computer while they hold him at gunpoint. The accident happened, of course, that late Friday night. That Breon Subston, of course, Kenderman Harris here. Both 23-year-old was stopped by the Lowndes County deputies. They also said it happened on I-75 shortly thereafter. Jaquez even told deputies that the 2 men approached him intersection of Stateville Road there, ordered him to get on the ground there, and of course, he said that they took his property and ran away with it. Also, on July the 26th there, a maximum of 23 hours there, 51 hours, the Valdosta Police Department says it happened at 900 block of Old Stateville Road, in reference to reports that armed robbery there. Officials also says that Eric arrived there, rather spoke to Jaquez Evans, who indicated, of course, 2 African males had approached him at Old Interstate Stateville Road there, Atkinson Avenue there. Both pulled him at gunpoint there and ordered him to get on the ground there. Evans also told them that he took his laptop computer, stole $130 in cash. You can check out much more. Go to facebook.com/TWE News. Across the state now, the Florida news details information. Arrested 3-1 counts of bank fraud that happened in Jacksonville, Florida here. It said 3-1's bank counts here, or the Jacksonville woman here, is between December 2011, November 2012 last year. Jenny's been known as Pumpkin here, a nickname, where she was involved with scams here and taking people personal information here from their banks here. And Navy Federal Credit Union had online, of course, on the phone. Once the accounts was open here, Smith would deposit these checks through an ATM. She took right at 3-1 different counts here, deputy says. They also said the cash was returned. It was unable to locate the accounts, but they also said it was closed accounts as well. The cash was withdrawn right at point sale transactions conduct against the deposit and causing the credit union, and of course, either suffer right at $63,000 and some dollars here from those accounts there, the deputy says. Investigator says also that Smith was identified as a suspect video surveillance and depositing and withdrawing these cash from the checks from the cash from the checks here. And when she was arrested, she refused to talk to the lawyers, of course, on the phone. Smith also was booked inside of the jail. She was charged with personal identification information through accounts of bank fraud here and organized fraud as well. A man is found dead, shot here on Bronxwood Road in Bronxwood, Georgia. Here, take a listen. Of course, the man was shot here on the shoulder of Bronxwood that Monday night there, according to the Glenn County Police Department. Official says responds in the area of Houselia Place there. And of course, Old Cypress Miller Road there around 940 in the reference in the shooting file. When they arrived, they found Brandon Carpsers on 23-year-old on the shoulder of Old Cypress Miller Road there. He had shots numerous here. Of course, transported later to the hospital. If you know any information about this, you're asked to urge to call these numbers, which is at the Bronxwood, Georgia numbers, which is at 912-554-7825 or either 912-264-1333 for information. A man is killed inside of a car in Jacksonville, Florida. According to the man, was of course found dead inside of his car here on Springfield Road that late Monday and later died at the hospital. According to the Jacksonville Sheriff Office there, David says responds in the area there around 11:30 in the reference in the shooting there. When they arrived, they found Kevin Jones, a 23-year-old, on a course with a gunshot wound. He later died in the hospital. If you know any information about this, you have to call the Crime Stoppers, which is at 1-866-845-TIPS. And you can go to facebook.com/TV News and check out more this story and, of course, much more ahead on our TWE News Facebook page. There's all the information up there that you can check out. And straight ahead, coming up on TWE News Edition, we have the very latest details on a Thomasville burglars that went through some power tools and stole a lots of merchandise here. We're going to tell you the merchandise. Plus, a man tried to run over his wife in Newman, Georgia, but good, thank God that she didn't get ran over. There's a whole lot of customers inside. We will take you there, and we'll have much more news when we come back. But first, we do got some weather to talk about. We're going to talk about the weather. We're going to tell you how you're playing your day in order to keep yourself dry. Stay with us. We'll be back after the break. And if you see news, weather, sports, just tell them about it on Facebook.com/TWNews. We'll be right back after the break. Stay with us. I need to cut it. Welcome back, everybody. Thank you so much for joining us on TWE News Edition. If you're just not tuning in, locking in, it's your boy Kelton Johnson, TW Chairman from Cairo, Georgia. And remember, when you see news, weather, sports happening, let us know about it. Go to Facebook.com/TWE News and find me on Facebook, Kelton Weatherman. Thank y'all so much, all the people out there that's joining us from Cairo, Bainbridge, Thomasville, Tallahassee, Marietta, all over North Florida, South GA, and wherever else where you're located at. Thank you so much for joining us, ladies and gentlemen. We're turning now to some other news here. According to Thomasville burglars, we're going to break down that story coming up in just momentarily about these Thomasville burglars here stole some burglaries, had stole some pills here. We're going to tell you more details and what kind of tools they stole as well coming up in just a momentary. But first, right now we do have some more news to share with you here. According regarding to a woman here, we're gonna turn down to the student here. Of course, was arrested here setting off a fire at Valdosta High School, happening in bathroom. Here's much more. Take a listen.
This is part of Georgia. Students are arrested here for setting a fire at Valdosta High, happening in Valdosta, Georgia, on September the 19th. And actually at around 10:02 a.m. that morning, Valdosta Police Department says the fire, Valdosta Fire Department responded to a Valdosta High School at 3103 Forest Street in a reference in a fire in one of the restrooms here. The fire was quickly had splashed here by the school personnel, and no one was injured here. But after a joint investigation between police and, of course, fire department, says that assistance from the school administration, Tavis Williams, who is a student at school, was arrested here for arson and, of course, distribution here of the public. And, of course, Williams was transported to the lounge. And according to the report, says the damage was insulting here, and a single bathroom stall here was estimated right at $400. Wow, wow, wow. Good thing nobody was not hurt. In Cairo, Georgia, you can always count on TWE News.
And you can check out much more details on that story. Just go to Facebook.com/TWE News and check out much more details on the story. And turning now to some other news here with other news here from Thomasville. These burglars had went to Thomasville, Georgia. It was in Southwest Georgia. Deputy says they were calculated in construction workers here to take care of their tools after that weekend burglaries here. Deputy said several $100s here worth of power tools was taken from, and of course, as that was taken from this Phoenix Rehab Center, Thomasville. Deputy says these had broke inside of the window here, north side of the building, and then construction crew was currently currently working on here remodeling and building. Here's a quote. A statement says that we advise citizens here is in communities here, if you're going to be going having tools and construction sites, please source them in the building and lock a key with a key here to make it difficult for these thieves. That's what Thomasville deputy, which Eric Hampton said. Deputies also said Isaac Pierce belonged to a construction worker, and also the building was going to soon be one of the 3 new Southwest Georgia Behavioral Health and, of course, Sanitation here center as well. A man tried to run over his wife. It's unbelievable, but it's also crazy. Good, thank God that she's okay. But at the same time, it was a lot of people in there. He's trying to crash into the store. Happened in Newman, Georgia. Investigators says that the Coweta County Sheriff Office says that a man tried to run on his wife and then went to the parking lot at a gas station but missed and drove straight through the front of the store. According to the witnesses, says that the truck had crashed into the glass there and went full speed. Quote says, I heard it tries to squeal him, then I turned around. He was coming through the glass there. That's what Jeff says. That he said also thank God that they're still here, and also it was a handful of customers in the store as well. Brittany says that she also was walking towards it. She saw the car hit her truck and then smashed through the glass. You can check out much more details on the story. Just head over to our TWE News Facebook page for the latest. We're going to turn now to a little bit of weather information to let you know how you can plan your day. First of all, you need to go to our facebook.com/TWNews page. We got all the weather information. We put weather information on each and every day for you. All you have to do is go on there. If you see the clouds out there looking scary, they're letting you know, getting you some information to know that it's about to storm. Just ain't the sunshine. When the sun shine out, make sure you have your bottled water, sunscreen, and all that weather information, items that you need, weather supplies that you're going to need in the storming. If it's storming, have your umbrella. If it's sunny, have your sunscreen, all that kind of stuff. Now, if it's, just all that one's information, we're going to post all of its information on our TV News Facebook page. So make sure that you take care of yourself very well out there. Now, we're going to turn now, because coming up next, we're going to take a break now. And when we come back from the break here on TWE News Edition, we're going to have our sports coming up. And after sports, we got more news for you. So stay right there. Don't move anywhere. TWE News Edition. We'll be right back after the break. Hello everybody, welcome back to TWE News Edition. Thank you so much for joining us. If you're at home right now, get comfortable because we got sports coming up, and after sports, you already know what it is, more news. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, in our sports news, in your real sports news here, according to some games that's been going on, filed and documented here, that also MLB, we're going to start off with MLB scores here, kicking off with the Indians taking on White Sox. Score was 2-0. Of course, also, it was a big game between the Giants here. Now, this is one of the big things here with the Giants taking on the Ford Dodgers. That was the Indians took on the White Sox. The score was 2-0. Giants took on the Dodgers at 4-3. Orioles took on Blue Jays 3-1. Mariners took on Mets 1-0 there. And all this information on Facebook, just go to facebook.com TW News. And also the Saints took on the Buccaneers. We're going to research, go back to ESPN and get you that score. Jaguars took on the Riders there. The score was, of course, the Jaguars took on the Riders. The score was 19-9. Broncos took on the Giants 38-23. 49ers and the Seahawks, we don't got the score. And also Steelers and Bengals, we're going to get those scores for you. All you have to do is stay tuned to TW News, and we'll, of course, be able to keep you informed. Here's much more news right now. Turning out to more news here. According to a Florida man gets 12 years in prison after killing a woman, killing somebody at a club here. Happened in West Palm Beach, Florida, Southport. Florida man here was, of course, Lauren Moore. The dedicated has been sentenced in prison, pleaded guilty here in manslaughter here. 1999, and the killer Antonio was captured here in Oklahoma 2008, 2 years after the Palm Beach County authorities says the case. He pleaded guilty that Monday, sentenced 12 years in prison here as well. The victim, 38-year-old Robert here, he was killed outside of a club back in March of 1999. Witnesses identified the shooter here, and they found it shortly after Jimenez was, of course, wearing the shirt that's determined of him that he killed him the night of the killing there. He was treated at a local hospital where it turned out to be a self-indicated gunshot wound here. He told authorities that he was attacked and, of course, was robbed. Well, turning now to some other news, friends and families had a great time enjoying themselves. It was just all for a good cause here, but it was a great opportunity here where a lot of folks got out and enjoyed. It was volunteers where they volunteered and, of course, participating in cleaning up the coast. Here's so much more on that story. Take a listen.
This is part of some Florida news here. Volunteers are participating into this coast to clean up. Waukesha County, more than just about 600 volunteers from several different counties are working together to put up trash and, of course, the effort to keep the coast, water, and waste clean. It's just part of the 28th annual International Coastal here, cleanup day there. Organizers there keeping Waukesha County beautiful here. There's a volunteer to pick up close to 4 tons of trash here. Then the water moves trash in different locations to keep the coast clean and central to maintaining here fresh water here. And then we also do have a quote here. You can just check out the quote here too. That we need to be areas and anything that's impossibly exposed here or ended up damaging the environment. Of course, that's what Joanna Plummer with keeping up Waukesha County beautiful here. Yep. So they also say it's just important just to keep the place clean here because it's just a safer place to better for the environment. Organization here to give the residents here to change the property disposed here. Handful criminals here to waste here during the waste day there. That, of course, is coming in October. You can follow more details on this story. Just head over to our TWE Facebook page. Go to facebook.com/TWE. In Carroll, Georgia, you can always count on TV News.
And you can check out much more details on that story. Just head over to our TW News Facebook page for the very latest. Alright, turning now to some other news here with some information regarding to a couple of stories that you can check out. Use our TW News timeline. Go to August, and you can check out about the double shooting that took place in Tipton County. And you can check out much more of those stories. Just head over to our TWE News Facebook page for the very latest. Well, are you looking for something maybe to do? Maybe head out to the Zodiac Club in Cairo, Georgia, or Baja Beach Club, or Roosevelt's in Havana. Baja Beach Club, by the way, it's in Panama City. Of course, you can go to all kind of clubbings. If you know anybody that loves the club and they know how to do everything, go ahead and tell them to go to Facebook.com, send us their information, and they still can make it right here, of course, on the air. So, a lot of great information for people out there, of course, get out there and enjoy themselves. Alright, let's just straight ahead when we return. Still to come on TWE News Edition. Up next, we'll have the latest details on the meth lab that took place, and of course, also in Tallahassee, West Bend Spring Hill Hotel. And plus, bikers all over the state capital are remembering Trayvon Martin. We'll be right back after the break with those stories. Stay with us.
Now you can tell me go ahead.
Why do you have little or no relationship with your baby? Explain her to. Explain. She makes it very difficult. How to do that? How? I call. I try to do what I can do. I'm not saying I'm perfect. I'm not saying that I have all this money. I'm not saying any of those things, sir. Do you financially support him? Yes. When I can. And I just gave her some money. And we just had a conversation about buying my son's school clothes. And all of this. So why are we having this conversation? Like, why are we even going through this? Wow. Everything was the past. Like, yeah, I wasn't the perfect person. I understand. I'm talking about right now. Yeah, okay. Right now. Today. All right, so if you want me to build a relationship with my child, why make it so she came all across the country? Your son needs a full-time dad as much as you can be a full-time dad. And she thinks you favor cash and her. Why? What? I don't understand. I mean, cash. Is she lying? She can call me just like cash.
Hold on, you don't answer my phone call.
I don't answer your phone call. So how did we even get to the arrangement of getting my son situated, getting his situation? How did we do that? No. I didn't know anything about the circuit of the paper when I came to get my son.
Did you have it?
When I came to get my son,
Did you have it?
When I came to get my son, when I came to get my son,
Did you read it?
when I came to get my son, what were we going to do? When I came to get my son, what happened when you were served with those papers? What happened?
Welcome back, everybody. Thank you so much for joining us here on TWE News Edition. We really appreciate you so much for joining TWE News. Here's a couple of more news stories here about a meth lab. It happened Tallahassee Best Union Hotel in Tallahassee. Leon County deputy says that they raised here Best Union Hotel Honda Civic Park, Appalachian Parkway. It happened in Capitol, of course, sentencing here. And of course, the court said that we found a meth lab in the car. Then we went back in to search the warranty in the hotel room. We also found that, of course, militaries, along with the Lowndes County office here, the mother pointed a finger at Raymond. Lowndes County Sheriff Office says also that they, of course, had him on the run by the law. And you can check out much details on this story. Just go to Facebook.com/TWE News. What a crazy story that is right now. Well, finally here, take a listen at this story. Here might maybe some things that you might know about a bike rider or going through the Capitol State here for Trayvon Martin. Hundreds of them gathered around the NAACP state capitol downtown. Atlanta, Georgia rally was honoring Trayvon Martin, calling for a change here. Nearly 200 of them across Metro Atlanta here. Motorcycles Capitol rally just weeks after they found out George Zimmerman was not guilty in the murder of killing Trayvon Martin here. Since the pursuit says an organization here, countries against the civil rights here, and of course changes as for our information there. So you can check out much more details on that story. Just head over to our TWE News Facebook page.com, facebook.com/TWE News, and get all the rest of the information. Well, this is our first season here, and I thank y'all so much for joining me on TW News. And I want to go out there and go ahead and give all my homies out there, my homeboys, my homegirls, classmates, anybody out there. It's all over Cairo, Georgia. I thank y'all so much for Lizzie Collins. I want to go ahead and tell her thank you so much for the opportunity as looking at all my stories that I post up on Facebook. Also want to give everybody, each and every one of y'all out there that's on my TW News Facebook page for so much for making y'all support. Thank y'all so much for supporting me. And Heather McGlimmer, want to give her a shout out as well for making sure that she has been listening to my shows and telling me that I did a great job. So I really enjoy each and every one of y'all out there so much for joining me and of course supporting me. Now if y'all see anything that's happening, please let me know about it. Just go to facebook.com/TW News. Or if you're on my Facebook pages, inbox me with the name of the story, where it happened at. I can go in and research it any kind of way, and of course, find the information. Thank y'all so much for joining us on TWE News, and please, thank you so much for joining us again on TWE News Edition. This is our first season starting off, and of course, you'll be able to check out, of course, our next season, and we'll tell you also what we'll be working on. We got a lot of news that you probably didn't know that happened in the month of September. So please be sure to check out our next story, this next show rather. Just go to facebook.com and check us out. You'll see your notification and you'll know that I done uploaded more videos and I'm working on more news, weather, and sports just for you. Thank y'all so much for joining TWE News Edition. I'm Kelvin Johnson, TW Chairman from Cairo, Georgia.
inspectors and investigators. I am so